Birth and death are funny things. People end, they stop, they die. I'm not sure how to put it more bluntly. But the echoes of their life lives on without them, in the memories of the people they meet. A little snapshot of their existence contained within another's brain. And in the way we change people. Our parents help define who we are, our teachers, our friends. Without them, we wouldn't be who we are. And even when they're gone, we still have that part of them in us. And then we change the people we meet. And so on and so forth. The echoes of life live on. Even if the one that it started with is long gone. You even can get quite clear glimpses of people that have died possibly hundreds or even thousands of years ago in the text they've written. I mean, it's kind of shocking that you can read a book of some poor soul that died forever ago, but their words are still there, clear as day. It's quite the sight. Oh my. Today, something new will be born. It's your, beautiful baby Bonny. I hope you take good care of her. You bring Bonny home swaddled in soft blankets. You set her delicately down in her crib. She quietly begins to cry. Oh shit! Baby crying! What do you do? Play her some Mozart, only the finest music for my child. My child is going to be a true intellectual. They must listen to Mozart. Surely that would soothe their quaking soul. No, it really didn't. After about half an hour of continuous crying, you decide to change your music. Sadly, the thing you change it to is something called Baby Shark. Oh, it calms them down! But, the side effects are ungodly. You have to keep playing the tune. As soon as you stop, they start to cry. But it's so mind-numbing. The next few years are comprised mostly of crying and pooping, and considering that I'm not a sadist, I'm not going to subject you to that. So I hope you don't mind, but there may be an itty-bitty time skip. It's a wonderful spring day. The sun feels warm on your skin. There's a soothing breeze carrying the smells of flowers and newly blooming life. It's a perfect day to go on a walk with your little Bonny. As you peacefully stroll along, a little white rabbit jumps out in front of you. Bonny is simply overjoyed and reaches out towards it. But the next second, there's a sickening screech, and the rabbit is now airborne, being held in fierce talons, piercing through its flesh, staining its white fur so very red. As the hawk swoops off into the distance, Bonny looks up at you, tears in her eyes. What do you do? You yell, "Who wants ice cream?" In an attempt to drown your child's ways to deal with worries, sadness, negative thoughts and feelings is to eat copious amounts of ice cream. Not a good lesson to teach your child, but you're too busy eating copious amounts of ice cream to really worry about something like that. You see Bonnabelle looking up at you, beaming. Her face and hands a rainbow smudge of chalky marks. In her hand, she tightly clutches a scrunched piece of paper. She raises it up in triumph. It appears to be an incomprehensible mess of scribbles. A mess of overlapping chalky colours. You assume it's a deep, postmodern representation of the human soul. But Bonnabelle informs you that it is a dinosaur. Very postmodern. I see you've clearly taken inspiration from the school of Dadaism. Oh, your brushstrokes are reminiscent. Dragons are way cooler than dinosaurs. Very postmodern. I see you. I'm really sorry, Bonny, but it just looks like scribbles to me. Clap your hands in delight. It's beautiful, my little Michelangelo. Bonny's filled with glee. She's quite literally bouncing around the place with happiness. Eventually, you both go back home and have a nice, peaceful nights of sleeps. But when you're awake, you discover that every surface of your household has been covered in chalk. From the toilet, to the carpet, to the walls, to your own face. You're filled with a burning emotion. You quickly run to Bonny's room, kicking down the door, and you scream, "Oh my god, we're gonna be fucking rich!" as your child's clearly the most prolific art prodigy of this generation. You bring round a few famous art critics to appraise Bonny's wondrous work. They are not exactly encouraging. They recommend a cleaner. You tell them to fuck off. She's clearly ahead of her time.
Dad, are slugs jealous of snails? It's just snails have those little houses on top of their backs, and slugs don't. It's just unfair. They don't have a place to hide and curl up in, or a nice place to sleep when it's cold outside. It just doesn't seem very nice. Well, they know it is sad. Wait, when we get home, we can make some little shells for them so they can all be safe and snug. The aesthetic effect is quite interesting, considering all the snails in your garden now look like they've just rolled out of a Mad Max movie. And judging from how much your mailman started swearing when he accidentally trod on one the other day, Bonny's method is quite effective. I like slugs. You and Bonnibel have had a long day wandering around the great outdoors, peeping at wildlife. As you sleepily wander home, the sun already setting, the sky a dark blue, the last traces of light saying goodbye to the world. From the shadows, you hear a sickening crunch. Oh god, no. No, I didn't mean to. Out of the darkness, you see a poor, crushed little snail under Bonnibel's foot. You didn't mean it. It was an accident. It was a horrible thing to happen, but... Oh, sweet pea, don't cry. It's all going to be fine, I promise. You didn't mean it. It was an accident. It was a horrible thing to happen, but... it's only... Oh, sweet. When we make the slug shells, let's make them out of titanium, so it'll be super, super, super hard, and if they're trod on, they'll be chill, they'll be fine, it'll be all good. Titanium shells, need it now. That thing, we do, yep. It is the dead of night, and you hear a door slowly creak open. There's a small, scared voice. There's a monster under my bed. Don't worry, I'm sure there is not a monster under your bed. You wake up after a peaceful night's rest. There was nothing under Bonny's bed. Why would there be? The air is cold, the sky is dark, spooks and monsters abound, creeping through every shadow, with one thought burning in their minds. Holy shit, we're gonna eat a ton of sweets! Bonny's face is pressed up against our living room window, looking out at the majesty of Halloween. Spooks, ghouls, and ghosties abound, and princesses. For some unexplicable reason, princesses. I don't know why, they don't fit with the theme. Don't make sense. Why? That's aside the point. And on this fateful day, you have the chance to choose what particular spook, ghosty, or ghoul your little Bonnibel will dress up as. Bonny dressed up as a snail. She rejected the perfectly good costume you picked out for her, and presented one, well, she made herself. Out of a cart, Bonny was nothing but dedicated to her performance as a slug. Due to this, she moved at a very, very slow pace. One so slow, the first house she arrived to, well, had run out of candy. All the other trick-or-treaters got there first. And all the subsequent houses had the exact same problem. Bonny was more than a little rejected, so you decided to buy her a lot of ice cream. You both decided to spend the evening watching nature documentaries about slugs, before passing out on your sofa, thoroughly stuffed with the cream of the ice. It's a lovely autumn day. Orange leaves gently drift along in the cold breeze. Once again, you're going for a walk with Bonny. It feels peaceful. You feel quite content, numb to the world. Bonny is happily skipping beside you. You can't even feel the cold breeze on your face. Everything's fine. Wait, you can't feel the cold breeze on your face. It's like November, you should probably be able to feel that. Your arm doesn't seem to move. You realise that the soothing sensation of numbness, it felt quite calming at first. But now you can't feel your body. All the sensations you've lived your whole life with. The feeling of air rushing in and out your lungs, your heartbeat, your clothes on your skin. They were so omnipresent. It just faded into the background. You forgot about them, but now it's gone. Its absence makes you feel so empty. You begin to slowly topple backwards. For a second you worry you'll hurt yourself when you hit the ground, but you remember at this point your body seems not to be capable of feeling anything, let alone pain. You look up at the sky, your vision beginning to fuzz. There's a face, someone above you, someone you really should remember. Their mouth is moving as if they're yelling, shouting, calling it, but you can't seem to hear anything. You attempt to speak, to try and soothe that distressed soul. You try to speak, but somehow you can't manage to get the words out. You desperately try, repeating it over and over in your head, but in the end, there's only silence. The last experience you'll ever have is that single thought. I'm sorry. I'm going to miss your 7th birthday. I love you. I love you. It's all going to be okay. It's all going to be okay. You hear a faint cry off in the distance, but suddenly the cries are not so distant. A wave of noise hits you, cackling, hooting, screaming. You can't tell whether the makers of the sound are going through the most sensual joy or the worst pain you could imagine. You open your eyes, the noise suddenly stops. You see strange figures in front of you, small, carrying a mixture of hope and fear on their twisted faces. One slowly creeps towards you, and it appears to attempt to bow, even though its body seems rather unsuited to the position. It splutters out. Please, please, save us. The world is big and scary, but now you're here. Everything will be okay. You can protect us from the monsters at night and feed us when we're hungry. Teach us what's the difference between right and wrong. Please, we beg you. The one who fell from the stars. Help us. Help us. What the fuck is happening? They appear to have set up some sort of feast to celebrate the coming of their new savior. They seem to be happily chirping to each other in some sort of strange alien song, passing small cups of dirty water around as if they were wine, and happily munching on something that can be charitably described as very, very stale bread. For a second they all freeze and look up at you. One of them slithers forwards, and they say in a quavering "Pizza!" Considering that you can produce far more food exclusively farming plants than farming plants and animals, and these guys look like they need to get the most food they possibly can. Also, these guys don't look up to hunting. And thankfully cabbages don't fight back, so it should be a safer option. On top of the ground. I mean, where else do you build a house? The idea of a tree house or a hobbit hole sounds pretty cute, but for the sake of practicality, I think ground level is best. I mean, I've lived in a normal ground level house my whole life, and I'm not dead yet, so they're probably doing something right. Suddenly, your little world becomes very, very still. The details begin to blur and fuzz over. There's a mind-breakingly loud noise, like shattering glass, but replicated 1,000 times over. Everything's dark. Everything's pitch black. You can't see. Your little monster friends are running around in blind panic, with as little on earth of a clue as what's happening as you currently have.
What the fuck do you think you're doing? Okay, with an intro like that, I'm pretty sure I should be the one asking the questions.
Wait a second. Did I appear in a flash of lightning? What the hell is wrong with my hands? If you gave me dark eyeliner, by God, I'm slapping the hell out of us when we wake up. The evil apparition stares at you with fierce intensity. Oh, fuck no! The narrator did not just call me evil looking. I am not the bad guy here. What are these meant to be? You're too old to be playing with dolls. What the fuck do you think you're doing?
The monster looks down with sheer disgust at the little creatures scurrying around in a blind panic at its feet.
This is not how we're meant to deal with this situation.
It stamps down hard like an exterminator on a particularly annoying cockroach. One of the tiny being's bodies explodes beneath the weight of its foot. Its splattered remains begin to ooze gently across the floor.
The helpless little creatures begin to cry and shriek. Please, stop it!
Before the despicable monster can say another word, you raise your hand. Convince it to shoot it with your super cool laser powers. A laser suddenly materializes out of your fingers. An utterly laughable and unbelievable concept, but materializing food and buildings out of thin air is also quite improbable, but that literally just happened. So, 5 minutes later, the fiend is a pile of ash on the floor. You can probably fill in the blanks yourself. The little creatures begin to cheer. Hooray! You banished the monster. Oh my god, I know you were awesome before, but you're so awesome, I can't describe it. So I'll just make random noises and hope it does it justice. You saved us from the monsters, from the bad place. The bad place is a place from the monsters came, which is bad, so if the monsters came from it, the monsters would be bad. Well, if it came from the bad place, it being bad goes without saying, because bad stuff comes from the bad place, which is bad. Bad, 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 it's bad, bad. It's just very, 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 very not nice. We're so terribly scared. More things will crawl out of there. They come. They ruin everything. Please, make them go quiet. Such a divine thing as you could surely stop such terrible things from happening. You could stop anything bad from happening. No. Why me? Please, stop. You can't make. No, why me? Please. Why no? No. Why me? Go to bad place. So you decide to go. No, I don't. So you decide to go. No, I do not. So you decide to go. No, I. And now you're there. All your charming little creatures are gone. All your creations, from their homes to the bountiful food you gave them. There's none of it. There's nothing. You can't keep me out forever. You can't keep us out. This is not a fairy tale. This is not a game you can win. The world happens around you, and no matter how much you cry or pretend, tears won't change it. They're gone. They'll be gone forever. It's just life. In life, there's no saving point. There are no second chances. In the end, it will always be a game over.
Do you feel then? The seconds passing by like sand in an hourglass. And you decided to spend the few you have with me. I have to say, I am quite flattered. But really, you could do better. You could be out there changing the world for the better, making lifelong friends, falling in love, being an Olympian, a great scientist, but no! You decide to spend the time fucking with me. You realize the longer you're listening to me, the more time you waste. But no, you just keep on sitting there, listening to my dumb voice. Do you have any idea how much time you've wasted already? Time that you'll never get back. But no, you decided to spend it here with me. I'm doing what I can. We're all human. We can't work 24/7. We're not machines. Sometimes we have to take time for ourselves to slow down, to think about the world, play games, watch a film, maybe just enjoy thinking about nothing at all for a change. We're human. We're imperfect. Not every one of us can become a Nobel Prize winner or gain an Olympic medal. Well, we're doing all we can. And in the end, that's enough.
Suddenly, you're back. Your little monster friends surround you, celebrating. You did it. You actually did it. You're amazing. You destroyed the Heart of Darkness and you came out the other side. It's okay now. You're safe. Nothing can stop you or hold you back. We can be here forever. You can be whatever you want to be. A king, a queen, a god. As long as you're here, you can do anything. You can take care of us. Teach us new things. Comfort us when we have nightmares. Give us silly costumes to wear. As long as you're here, you're safe. I can't blame you. Every wish, every whim, every dream, every fantasy. Here it can all be real. You can save the world against impossible odds, fall in love, have children. But in the end, it's only you. And you can't escape that. No matter how much you play and pretend, that hollow feeling just grows and grows and grows and grows. And you can try and scream for someone, but the only thing that will come back is the echoes of your own voice. Imagination is beautiful. It can get you through immense amounts of pain and sadness. But there's one thing it can't give you, and that's a real friend. It will always just be you. Forever and forever and forever.